A long-standing business relationship takes a dramatic turn when a basketball coach expects someone else to cover a $10,000 travel bill. And Judge Judy is not willing to accept vague promises or assumptions. Mr. Johnson explains that he has organized a traveling basketball team since 1995, while Miss Ellis has been purchasing airline tickets for the team since around 1998. According to him, their arrangement had always worked the same way. He would purchase the tickets, the team would travel, and he would reimburse her. But this time everything changed. Miss Ellis claims she paid roughly $1 for the team's airfare and never received her money back. Judge Judy immediately asks Mr. Johnson why he failed to pay her when that had been their established practice for years. Mr. Johnson admits he was experiencing financial difficulties, but he says there was another reason. He had introduced Miss Ellis to potential sponsors who were supposedly going to provide the money for the trip. One potential sponsor allegedly promised to send the payment, but the money never arrived. Mr. Johnson says he believed Miss Ellis understood his situation and might be willing to help because of their long-standing relationship. Judge Judy quickly stops him and makes it clear that what he thought or hoped would happen is not the same as an actual agreement. She asks him directly whether Miss Ellis really paid for the tickets, and he admits that she did. She then asks whether he had previously reimbursed her for travel expenses, and again he confirms that he had, even writing checks to her in the past. Judge Judy wants to know exactly what changed this time. Mr. Johnson insists that the arrangement had somehow become different after Miss Ellis spoke with the potential sponsors. He explains that the sponsor was supposed to send the money directly to her, but the promised payment never came through. He says Miss Ellis knew how important the trip was for his team and believed she understood the difficult position he was in. But Judge Judy isn't persuaded. She reminds him that this was a business arrangement that had existed for many years. Miss Ellis purchased the tickets, his team used them to travel, and the established practice was for him to reimburse her. If a sponsor failed to provide money, that did not automatically erase his responsibility to pay the person who actually covered the expense. Judge Judy points out that Miss Ellis purchased approximately $10,000 worth of airfare, yet Mr. Johnson never paid her back. He cannot simply assume that she agreed to absorb the cost because he was having financial problems. Judge Judy asks one final question. Was there a clear agreement between the two of them that Miss Ellis would no longer be reimbursed? Or does Mr. Johnson still owe her the money? Mr. Johnson maintains that he believed the arrangement had changed because of the sponsorship situation. But Judge Judy explains that an assumption is not a contract. There must be an actual agreement, and she sees no convincing evidence that one existed. She notes that the coach had worked with Miss Ellis for years, had repeatedly paid her for the tickets, and this was simply the first time he failed to do so. His financial problems and the sponsor's broken promise may explain why he could not pay, but they do not eliminate the debt. Miss Ellis requested $10,000, but Judge Judy explains that the court's maximum jurisdiction allows her to award only $5,000. Based on the evidence, she rules in favor of Miss Ellis and orders Mr. Johnson to pay $5,000. The case is over, and Judge Judy makes it clear that when someone pays a bill on your behalf, you cannot simply decide afterward that you expected someone else to cover it. And this is where the entire case takes a final, unexpected turn. Mr. Johnson spent years working with Miss Ellis under the same arrangement. She purchased the basketball team's airline tickets, and he paid her back. But when a potential sponsor promised to provide the money and then completely disappeared, Mr. Johnson apparently decided that the responsibility had somehow shifted. Judge Judy wasn't buying it. She made it clear that a promise from a sponsor is not a payment, and an assumption is not an agreement. Miss Ellis had already spent thousands of dollars on his team. The players traveled using those tickets, and Mr. Johnson never reimbursed her. Judge Judy also pointed out that he had previously paid her by check, making the established arrangement impossible to ignore. In the end, Miss Ellis asked for around $10,000. The court could only award $5,000. Judge Judy ruled firmly in her favor and ordered Mr. Johnson to pay the full $5,000 maximum. And with that, the argument was over. The sponsor never came through, the money was never repaid, and Judge Judy made sure the person who actually paid the bill didn't walk away empty-handed.